Hello, welcome to Accountant's Minute. I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director of ESS BIZTOOLS. I hope that if you're in southeast Queensland or the Northern Rivers areas of New South Wales, that you are safe and that it doesn't take you too much longer to get back into full operations. Our sympathy goes out to you for the recent problems that you have had. Navigating the transition to business advisory services. It's a big step. I know that. We've been talking about it and implementing it, both in my own accounting firm and helping others all around Australia for years to take this step. And some people hesitate. And some people never get round to doing it. And whether they're happy with their careers at the end of the day, I don't really know, but I suspect some of them were quite unhappy. It's nearly 10 months since the CommBank Accounting Market Pulse report was released. And this indicated that 95% of the accounting firms that they'd interviewed, of all sizes from all over Australia, had indicated that in 2021 and 2022, they were going to be implementing diversification strategies into their business. I think as we're now in March, it's as good a time as any to say, let's now develop a 3-month strategy to implement the transition to business advisory services into your firm. So what we're going to do is every week we're going to produce you an update within Accountant's Minute and within our various social media posts that guide you through the process of implementing business advisory services. And who's going to appreciate this? Well, I think your clients are, because they're going to realise that your firm is able to provide them with a range of commercial services that many SMEs are looking for these days. And unfortunately, a lot of them perceive that their traditional accountant is not interested in supplying these services because you're not talking to them about it. You're not promoting it in your newsletters or on your website. And I would most sincerely suggest that you do undertake that promotion to let them know that you're interested. Your team. There's been a lot of comment of late about dissatisfaction, disenchantment, itchy feet from not only employed accountants, in some cases I suspect partners in firms also, but a whole range of industries. And this has been caused by COVID-19 and a lot of the other pressures and stress of modern living. But what can you do about it if you're the principal or a senior manager in an accounting firm or a bookkeeping firm or a business advisory services firm or a firm that's offering chief financial officer services targeting SMEs? What can you do about it? I think implementing a diversified range of business advisory services is one of the best things you can do, but then please delegate the work to your young, perhaps inexperienced accountants. The only way they'll become experienced is if they are entrusted with the work. So what will you achieve out of that? Well, they'll be doing interesting and challenging work. And what a number of them have told me is real accountants' work. And I don't think they'll be one of the 70% that the Accountants Daily commented on that were looking to greener pastures elsewhere. I think you'll have a happy team. And your firm, you're also going to be benefiting of this, because there's going to be a win for your clients, a win for your team, and a win for your firm if you're a partner or a director of that firm, because you will be earning income from a diversified range of services. You won't have 90 to 95% of your income all coming out of the annual accounts taxation return category. Hopefully you will be able to reduce that reliance on that work, or you expand your overall operations. The dollar figure might be the same, but you expand your overall income. A word of warning, I know you know that this won't happen overnight, that there is a process you have to go through, and I'm quite happy to join you on that journey. I think it's important that you're able to give the signals to your team and to your clients that you are serious about this, that you are going to be providing your clients with value-added services, which they will appreciate. So, where are we going to start? I suggest the next 2 weeks are for the partners and senior managers to determine the strategies for your firm that's going to suit your clients and your team. And you won't get it perfect the first time, but let's get started. 2 weeks. In 3 weeks' time, I think you should have a team meeting and tell your team what you have decided to do relative to diversified services, and to implement those services, hopefully utilizing the business advisory services produced by ESS BIZTOOLS. And to inform your team that you're going to be offering virtually a Chief Financial Officer service. And by week 4, you can start the team training. And that's important because your team need to realize that this is different to the preparation of an annual set of accounts and tax returns, because you need to be able to dig down into what really happens in the business. And one of the most important areas that I found many years ago as a young accountant who decided to move on from public practice for a while and joined a corporation. That move then took me 11 years. And as part of that, I ended up the Chief Financial Officer, Company Secretary of the listed public company that I joined. And I found there was a lot more to it than just preparing financial accounts, which were prepared each month. But they were reclassified, re-prepared in a different manner so management could understand them. And one of the most important things was the key performance indicators and the weekly profitability estimates that relied on the firm having very accurate budgets, because we used some of that budget information each week. And quite frankly, that's basically what the CEO ran the business on. 450 odd operating divisions around Australia, and was relying on the weekly performance estimates, which were really anchored to the key performance indicators. So your team need to understand how key performance indicators work. I've also listed in my notes that profitability reports for various markets. I've worked with clients, and in fact, we did that in that company. We had certain markets we were working in, and we wanted to know exactly the result out of those markets. It might be that you've got a client that's exporting to USA, to Europe, to UK, and UK is separate from Europe from your client's point of view. It is politically now also, isn't it? And they'd like to get a separate set of accounts out. Some of your clients may well have been preparing a profitability estimate of a sort on how they are performing with major clients. And maybe you can enhance that type of service, because that's very important, especially when you analyze the ratio of top 20 clients to the overall income of the business. And the form of financial reports is very important. Today, I've been sitting here revamping financial reports from a fast-growing client that I have within my consultancy business. And I'm completely changing it around so as we can get informed management information out of those financial reports, which are prepared each month. And once the accounting team that are employed in that business come to grips with the changes we're making, I don't think it's going to be any great drama for them, but they will have information that is far better for their leadership team to be reading and analyzing. You could be doing the same thing for your clients. So examining the information, talking to them, and deciding what changes might be made. So next week, in the first of our launches around transition to business advisory services, we're going to be looking at product champions. These are the accountants in your employment that this process is putting a lot more responsibility on. So how do you go about training and mentoring these people and getting them interested in doing this work? I will share my thoughts on that with you next week. We are also launching a new product within ESS BIZTOOLS next week to assist you to take the step to move into transition to business advisory services. So I hope you'll be looking for our communications next week when we inform you of that. If you have any questions or thoughts on any of our products, you can visit our website, www.essbiztools.com.au, or you can give me a telephone call and then we'll set up a Zoom meeting. 45 minutes, no obligation. I will give you an overview of what I think the strategies for your firm to offer this exciting range of services for the benefit of your clients and your team and your firm. Give me a phone call, please. 1-800-232-088 is the best number to get me on, and we can have that Zoom meeting at a time that's convenient to you, and I'll try to change my calendar to fit in. Stay safe. Have a great day. Goodbye.